Guten Tag, hier ist Herr Hasse. Willkommen bei Deutsch 2 Stevens. Heute werden wir die Grammatik für Kapitel 11 besprechen. The student learning objective for Chapter 11. Die Studenten werden die Vergangenheitsform Present Perfect Tense benutzen können. So students will be able to use the present perfect tense in their everyday language. Let's do a quick review before we talk about the conversational past. In German, we have used the present tense. We have used the future tense. This would be with werden. Now we will talk about the conversational past. Conversational past, or die Vergangenheitsform. In English, this could be, he has played soccer. Now translating this into German is fairly simple for you, except for how do you handle played. We're familiar with We're familiar that has becomes hat. We're familiar with Fußball. We must now address the played portion. The German conversational past. I just mentioned the haben means to have. And we will have to use another verb. In the example in English, we talked about spielen. This spielen will be used much like the modal verb, or what we have called modals in the past with the helping verb of haben. This verb will go to the end like the modal, and we will call it the past participle. The past participle, this is what is new to us. To make it past, we have to put the GE in front of spielen, and then a T at the end. So spielen becomes gespielt. He has played soccer becomes, he becomes hat, from the have, Fußball gespielt. Hat Fußball gespielt. If you want to create a question, we still use the haben as our first word. We use that helping verb just like we have in the past, where we either used a W word or a verb. So we will use haben. Hat Fußball gespielt? Now we have a question. Let's look at some examples of regular verbs that use these rules. Holen, to get. Ich habe das Buch geholt. So holen becomes geholt. Hören, to hear. Ich habe die Musik gehört. Kaufen, to buy. Ich habe die Pommes gekauft. Now try a few on your own. Kosten. What would kosten become? Add the GE, provide a T at the end, and the word is gekostet. Correct. Let's try two more. Lernen, to learn, to have learned. Please say the word on your own. Gelernt. And finally, machen, to do. What would machen become in the past? Everybody say it. Gemacht. Let's look at one sentence before we finish up this and go back to our books. With the example from the previous slide, write down in German, I have learned German. You should have Ich habe Deutsch, and then you should have taken learned, lernen, and convert it for the past, which becomes gelernt. Ich habe Deutsch gelernt. In this exercise, we've familiarized ourselves with the conversational past, or die Vergangenheitsform. This is very useful in talking about past tense. We will now go back to the book and continue with our practical exercises.